So here's my project. I bought a 1990 ZR1, and of course I knew there were some problems that had been sitting for a while, 12 years I guess. And one of the problems was a leaking fuel line. We knew that. So I ordered new fuel lines, and this is what they are. So somehow we've got to go from the top of the fuel tank down and around and underneath the car. I've already started tearing stuff apart. I have not found any videos online about replacing these, probably because, I don't know, maybe people just don't, I don't know. I think I'm crazy for trying, but so I'll start from where I kind of ended up seeing so far. Anyway, of course, these lines luckily disconnect right there. Up by the fuel filter, it's up underneath there, which that wasn't the hard part, you know. And all the clips on these little studs that come down, of course, as you're taking those off, they break. I was really worried about breaking the studs off, so I was very careful. One actually come off really, really tight. So what I did was, the clips were breaking anyway, so I just broke the clips off, and the nuts are just rusted right away. So I ordered new clips. I found them in Australia, of all places, and they look like they made them on one of those printers, 3D printers, which that works. So getting this out of here is gonna be fun, but just taking these down, look how rusted the fuel lines are right here. You know, I don't know if this car was driven at all in salty area. I wouldn't think they drove it at all in the wintertime, but that could be just from normal, just water getting on them and rusting them. Why they didn't put stainless on them, maybe they didn't have stainless lines back then, I don't know. But anyway, this thing snakes all the way up through here. There's clips that hold everything on. I've kind of got it loose. I just found out there's another clip up in here. Pull this down, there's a clip right there, you can kind of see it. Gotta get that out of there. And it goes up and around. It's gonna be interesting. It comes out right here. Light on here. And then around and then goes up. I did pop the tail lights out. I figured that way I could get up in there the best I can. And then I'm glad I did, because there are a lot more clips holding everything. See it up in there. I know it's kind of hard to see, but it comes up and around. But it is not going to be fun. There were these, I don't know, rubbery things that were holding the lines together, and they were zip tied together with some of those zip ties. So once I get done, I'll have to zip tie them back on. But I figured I'd at least show what I did so far. Taking these out wasn't too bad. You take the two screws out right here, and you got to push the light in, and it pulls out of these little slots. And yeah, these ones are really tight. And of course, then you reach, of course I took the lenses off first, which was really simple, and then reached in and took the nuts off, or the 10mm bolts that hold the lights in. Just reached in, took those off, and then go on this one and take this one off, of course. Anyway, I figured I'd at least start a video in case no one else has one, and then at least somebody else could see if they want to go through all this work or not. I want to keep this as original as possible, but you know, maybe I should have used like braided fuel line that I could just cut these off and snake new line in. But I had already taken the fuel pump out, and I cleaned the tank, which when I'm done here, I'm probably going to have to vacuum it out again. But I planned on replacing the fuel pump anyway. I mean, I've got everything apart. The car's only got like 14,000 miles on it, but you can tell just from sitting the amount of rust. You know, it'd been nice if they'd have put rust preventative stuff on different things. I mean, even like the fuel tank on the top, you can see it's just kind of rusty. And I'm probably gonna spray some type of oil up on top of everything, just to kind of at least stop it from rusting any further. But the inside of the tank looked really good, so at least that's a bonus. Anyway, I wanted to start a video, and then as I kind of get this thing taken apart, I'm gonna try and do the best I can to document this, because to see if someone else really wants to go to this extreme to try and keep it original, or just do something simple. I don't know. We'll see how bad I hate my life after I do this. Anyway, I'll continue in a little bit. You gonna fix it for me? Yeah, get in there, get that fuel line. I don't know. Yeah, you gonna change that fuel line for me? Oh yeah, you don't want to take that off. Yeah, don't take that off either. Yeah, that needs to stay on there.
Thank you.
Here, the fuel line's over here. You gotta go in there, and you gotta get the fuel line off for me. All right? You gonna fix it? All right.
Yeah.
You all done?
No.
No?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so after getting everything loose and looking at this, I think what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm going to, right here, if I can get in here, my camera, where's my head? All lines where you got this little straight stretch right here, and it bolts up to the frame. I think I'm gonna cut the old ones. I'm just gonna snip it off here and here and see if I can snake it out. If I can snake it out and then snake this one out without too much problem, I know I'm gonna have to bend it up a little bit, but after looking at this, there is no way to get these fuel lines in and out unless you completely disassemble the car. I'm at that point where that's what I am believing. So I'm going to attempt, I'm gonna snip it, and I am going to see if I can snake it out. Wish me luck. Okay. All right, so I snipped this one off, and it worked good. These are battery cable snips. It actually worked, I couldn't believe it. The hands don't work like these two. So far, that's the only one that's got a little gas in it. Anyway, I'm gonna snip them off there and see if I can snake them up through, and then if it works, I'll modify the new ones with a connector right there. Okay, so I can try and keep documenting this. So far, I moved the braces that were right here. Pretty easy, 10 millimeter. Remove the brace up here, just get that out of my way. I unplugged the lights, you know, because I'm wrestling with everything right here. Do not want to break off any wiring and break a light bulb connector or something. More work. But anyway, it is going to be fun. I was able to get that other clip that I was talking about that was in here. I was holding these two fuel lines together. I got that clip out. It is right here. It's just this little clip. So I got that out. And I think that will come out. I don't know yet. It kind of goes down and around, and it's really snakes through there. I'm hoping I don't have to make any more cuts. But you know what? If I gotta cut something and make it a lot easier and just I might have to buy a tool to make a little bump out on the lines and just put hoses in. I mean, there's hoses on the other end hooking up to the fuel pump. So they do use hose, and it's, in my opinion, not that big of a deal. But I do want the steel fuel lines on there. And at least if I put the hoses on in areas that, yeah, what are you gonna do? I mean, you can't keep it 100%. Real or original, I should say. Anyway, it's going to be a frustrating project, but I am going to get it done, and I will document this and the best I can on how I did it, so that the next person that does this can make that decision on whether or not they want to do it. I know I said that before, but it's already proven to be interesting. And the amount of rust, I'm really shocked. Just everything I touch, just rust falling off. I mean, I expected that. It's a 1990. But, Corvettes aren't driven in the wintertime. We got salt up here. And this thing was from Illinois. But still, it's amazing to me that, I guess you can't think that they'll try and keep everything from getting rusty. But it's just some of the stuff that's rusty, it just blows my mind. And I just want to get it running, and then once it's running, then over the winter time projects, I can tackle different areas and clean up the rust and repaint some things. But anyway, I know this is about fuel lines. Keep gabbing on about other stuff, but anyway, this is what happens when you buy something old. These are original brakes, by the way. Everything's original on this car. It had the original tires on it, which were all weather checked and flat. But all right, I'm gonna keep on. So after fighting with this for a little bit here, I have decided I'm going to cut the lines. I am marking them too. I wrote top on that one, and I got some yellow paint marker that I started marking stuff with because I do not want to try and remember how that went in. So but set that there. I have decided to make another cut in here. This gets up into the behind the frame anyway, so make another cut. Hopefully they don't get a bunch of gas. I think they got all the things out. All right, there's one, and then after making this video, maybe you guys won't have to worry about where you cut these. Just cut it, get it the hell out, and then I'll try and be as detailed as possible as I put this back together, as you can see. All right, this one's gonna be easy. Yay, part of the project done. All right, let's set this here so you guys can see how much fun this is gonna be. I don't know, see if I can do this without knocking my phone over. Okay, something's better than nothing. Let's see if I can figure this out now. I think it's easy. I can move this wherever I want. But we're talking about a Corvette. Let's see, one at a time. Maybe come this way instead. Let's see, one at a time. Can we do this? Oh yeah. See that or not? It's fun. Everything's fun when I'm over bed, right? You guys are gonna be like, hell with this. I'm rubbing rubber hose from the front to the back. Boom, there we go. Okay, pushing it back. Is it back? So after a very long time of struggling and getting frustrated, I probably shouldn't have cut it right there. But when I go put this thing back together, I'm gonna cut it into the places that I think that I should cut it and see what happens, because it came out very easy. It was right here, and at this bend, you know, I cut it at this straight spot. And I think I should have cut it right here, not realizing that this little extra bend, it would drop out the bottom really easy. But getting this extra bend up and around there is just, there's no way. There's too much stuff in there. It goes up in between the upper suspension bar there. And it is just not, I fought with it. There's no way to get it out without completely just bending the crap out of those lines. So I don't want to do that when putting it in. I want to just kind of put it in. So I'm going to cut, right, mark them so I can cut them so I know how they go back together, and then I know where to cut them on the new ones. So this is a battle, and I am going to win.